Elizabeth clutched the denial letter at the pharmacy counter, her name typed coldly across the top.
I am sorry, Mrs. Hartwell. Your Medicare Advantage plan was canceled 3 weeks ago by phone.
The pharmacist slid the printed denial across the counter.
Cancelled. That's impossible. I just had a checkup last month.
A woman called in with your name, address, and the last 4 digits of your social. It matched our records.
The date stamp was 3 weeks ago. The very day Linda had insisted on organizing her papers. That evening, Elizabeth sat at her kitchen table, the letter lying open before her.
Linda keeps saying I should move into the basement. It's all ready. Fresh paint. A bed. A chair.
The quiet house held its breath. Someone had tried to make her dependent, and she was alone. But Elizabeth didn't move. A single question filled the silence. Who would benefit if she were helpless? Elizabeth picked up the phone from the kitchen table and dialed the number printed on the denial letter.
Medicare customer service. How can I assist you today?
I need to verify a cancellation. My plan was terminated without my knowledge.
The cancellation was requested by phone. The caller verified your identity with your name, address, and social security digits.
That's data only my daughter would know. She was at my house that very morning.
We can resubmit an enrollment if you believe this was an error. Should I mail you a fraud packet?
Elizabeth's grip tightened on the receiver until her knuckles whitened.
No, thank you. I'll handle this myself.
She set the phone down. The silence in the kitchen was heavier than before. Linda's voice echoed in her mind. The basement is all ready, Mom. You'll see. It had started months ago with a suggestion wrapped in care so gentle even loving mothers could miss the hook.
Mom, this old house is too much for you alone. Our basement is finished. It could be yours, and I could watch over you.
Linda had already called the contractor, picked out paint swatches, measured for a hospital bed.
We can add a private bath right here. Plenty of closet space. It'll be like a little apartment.
See, Mom? You'll have privacy and care. No more stairs, no more worries about medication.
Then came the texts, arriving like clockwork every few days. Mom, I just want to help. You know, you can't afford the house on your own anymore. The Medicare costs alone are drowning you. We could put that money toward the basement renovation. Elizabeth now saw the timeline with brutal clarity. The cancellation fell between the contractor's final invoice and Linda's next visit.
She didn't just want me out of this house. She wanted everything.
Elizabeth pulled a worn cedar chest from the hall closet and lifted out the stack of documents tied with frayed string. 27 years earlier, in a hospital room thick with antiseptic, George had pressed a pen into her palm.
If your primary ever lapses for any reason, this supplemental plan activates automatically. No one can overturn it.
George's calloused fingers closed over hers around the blue card, his breathing shallow, but his eyes clear. Now, in the lamplight of her living room, Elizabeth found that same card inside a yellowed envelope. She dialed the number printed on the back, her heart drumming against her ribs.
Your supplemental coverage is active, Mrs. Hartwell. Platinum tier fully paid. It's been waiting for this day.
She set the phone in its cradle and looked at George's photograph on the mantel.
You knew, didn't you? You built me a shield from the grave.
She slid the blue card into her wallet, a quiet secret weapon that no one else would see. The phone on the kitchen table rang at 7:02 the next morning, shrill and too early for anything ordinary. Elizabeth lifted the receiver, already knowing the voice she would hear on the other end.
Mom, I heard about your Medicare. The pharmacy called me by mistake. Isn't that crazy?
My Medicare. What happened to it?
It's been canceled. But don't worry, you can move in this weekend. The basement is all ready.
She didn't even pretend to ask who canceled it. I don't know, Linda. This is so sudden. I need a little time to think.
Mom, you shouldn't be alone without coverage. I've already made arrangements. Just pack a bag. I'll pick you up Friday.
Elizabeth set the phone down gently, her face slack, but her mind a cold, sharp blade.
Now I know the clock is ticking, but so is hers.
Before lunch, Elizabeth dialed her bank and listened to the hold music with a racing heart. the phone pressed tight to her ear.
Has anyone attempted changes on my savings account in the last month?
A transfer request was filed 3 weeks ago to move your balance to a joint account with Miss Hartwell. We rejected it for voice mismatch.
The date on the bank flag matched the Medicare cancellation exactly.
3 accounts in one day. She wasn't just hedging. She was closing every door at once.
She dialed the pension administrator for George's Union Survivor benefit next. The administrator confirmed another attempt. Someone had tried to change the direct deposit information. It was blocked, but barely. Elizabeth set the phone down and pulled a blank sheet of paper from the kitchen drawer. She wrote one name, Linda Hartwell. Then she circled it with a red pen, the ink leading where she pressed too hard.
She wasn't stealing my insurance. She was draining everything before locking me in the basement.
Elizabeth sat before the old desktop computer, her finger hovering over the power button. The Medicare fraud complaint form loaded slowly, each field a demand for dates and names.
I need every detail exact. Dates, names, evidence.
She typed for nearly an hour, pausing only to check the notes from the kitchen paper. She wrote into the complaint. A female impersonated me, canceled Medicare, attempted bank transfer, and pension redirection. She attached the scanned denial letter and bank rejection notice, files clicking into the upload queue. Her cursor hovered over submit. This would set federal machinery in motion. No calling it back. She clicked. The screen flashed complaint submitted successfully. A reference number she copied to a sticky note.
Let them come. Let them match the voice prints. I've given them everything.
She shut down the computer. In her wallet, the union card now rested beside a federal case number. The doorbell chimed on a Wednesday afternoon. Elizabeth smoothed her blouse and opened the door to a woman in a dark suit.
Mrs. Hartwell, I am Special Agent Chen, FBI White Collar Division. May I come in?
They sat at the kitchen table, the same table where the denial letter had first exposed the wound. Agent Chen placed a recorder between them.
We've pulled the call logs from Medicare and your bank. Voice print analysis has already been run. It's a match to a single female voice across all 3 calls. We need your formal statement to proceed.
Elizabeth recounted every date, every conversation, ending with her daughter's name. Her voice never wavered.
We'll handle this quietly for now. Do not contact your daughter or alert her to the investigation.
Elizabeth nodded, the blue union card a weight in her pocket that she did not touch.
Let them build the case. Let her believe she's won until the very last second.
Agent Chen left a card with her direct line. The investigation had a heartbeat now, and it was beating against Linda's door. Linda Hartwell checked her mail on a quiet Tuesday afternoon and found an envelope bearing the seal of the Office of Inspector General. You are hereby notified that an investigation has been opened into unauthorized changes to Medicare benefits associated with your phone number.
This can't be happening. Someone reported me.
The phone on Elizabeth's kitchen table rang before noon, the caller ID displaying Linda's name.
Mom, did you get anything strange in the mail? An official letter?
Strange? No, dear. Just the usual junk. Is something wrong?
No, it's nothing. I must have mixed up the addresses. Forget I called.
The line went dead. Elizabeth set the receiver down and allowed herself a thin, quiet smile.
She doesn't know. That's all that matters. I can fix this.
The letter gave her 30 days to respond. The clock Elizabeth had set was now ticking in Linda's own ears. The doorbell rang before noon the next day. 3 sharp bursts that left no room for patience.
Linda, you didn't have to bring coffee. Is something wrong?
Linda handed her the coffee and walked to the kitchen, scanning the counters as she went.
Just wanted to check on you. You haven't received any strange mail, have you?
Nothing important. I've been so worried about this insurance mess.
It's nothing, Mom. But you need to move in this weekend. I'll handle the paperwork once you are with me.
I keep thinking about how I'll pay for my prescriptions. I just don't know what to do, Linda.
That's why I am here. We'll take care of it together. Pack a bag. I'll be back Friday.
Elizabeth nodded, her shoulders slumping in a perfect replica of surrender. As Linda turned to leave, Elizabeth saw the tiny tremor in her daughter's hand, Fear, not confidence. Later that afternoon, Elizabeth picked up her phone and dialed Linda's number, her voice steady despite the cold weight in her pocket.
Linda, I've been thinking, maybe you are right. Can we meet for coffee and really talk?
Of course, Mom. I'll pick you up. The cafe near my place.
They met at a small table by the window, morning light falling on 2 untouched lattes.
I haven't slept, Linda. Without insurance, I feel so lost. I really think moving in is the only way.
I've been telling you, Mom. I'll take care of everything. You just need to trust me.
Just give me a week. I need to sort my accounts, pack. Then I'll come with you.
A week. Fine, Mom, but I'll come check on you every day.
Linda smiled, a flush of victory on her cheeks, and reached for her purse, confident she had won.
1 week. And then I'll show her what planning really looks like.
That evening, Elizabeth unlocked the small drawer in her writing desk and removed a leather folder she had not opened in years. She could still hear George's voice, gravelly and certain. The afternoon, he insisted the union rep visit their kitchen.
They'll try someday, but this plan activates the moment anyone cancels your coverage. It's a union guarantee.
Now, in the quiet of the house, Elizabeth pulled the blue union card from the folder and placed it beside the FBI complaint confirmation. The folder also held the voice print analysis and Agent Chen's direct line, a quiet arsenal decades in the making. She traced the raised lettering on the card, remembering George's calloused hands after 32 years of wiring. Beside it, the complaint number inked in red on a sticky note felt like a second key.
He built this shield when Linda was just a girl. He never guessed she'd be the one.
She lifted George's photograph from the mantel. The wedding band on her hand, glinting in the lamplight. She replaced the frame, her face steeled. The trap was set. The phone on the kitchen wall rang early the next morning, shattering the silence that had settled overnight.
The voice print analysis is conclusive. Mrs. Hartwell, a match to your daughter across all 3 calls. We're issuing a formal notice of interview.
Elizabeth listened, her free hand pressing flat against the table, the union card cool under her blouse.
We'll mail the notice today. She'll receive it by Friday.
Hold it until Thursday. I am meeting her Wednesday. I want to look her in the eyes first.
That's against protocol. But after what you've endured, I'll delay the notice by 1 day.
Elizabeth let out a slow breath and nodded into the silent receiver.
Thursday is fine. After that, do what you need to do.
Agent Chen's voice softened slightly, something like respect in her tone.
Wednesday, I'll close this door. George's plan, my hand.
Tuesday evening. Linda Hartwell folded laundry in her living room, the basement door open behind her.
Tomorrow, Mom finally agreed to move in. I am picking her up at noon.
Are you sure this is the right thing? It all feels rushed.
She needs us, Mark. Without insurance, she has no choice.
Mark looked toward the basement door, the freshly painted room waiting like a held breath.
And her insurance just disappeared? That doesn't sound like coincidence.
You worry too much. By the weekend, she'll be settled here, and we can manage her accounts properly.
Wednesday morning, Linda dressed in a smart cream blouse, knotting a scarf at her throat. She checked her reflection and allowed herself a smile, the victory already tasted. Across town, Elizabeth laid the blue union card on the coffee table between 2 cups, then sat down to wait. The manila envelope lay on the coffee table, the blue card peeking out. The 2 cups were aligned precisely. Elizabeth poured fresh coffee into each cup, the steam rising in steady ribbons.
George, you made sure I'd never be trapped. Now let me finish this.
She set the envelope so the card showed, a quiet threat wrapped in aged paper.
Wish me luck.
The house held its breath, the only sound the distant hum of the refrigerator. Elizabeth sat, her hands in her lap, the pearls catching the lamplight, her face calm. The union card on the table, faded and worn, held the power of a promise made 27 years ago. A car engine approached from the hill, then cut off just outside. Elizabeth's heart did not race. She waited, the doorbell still silent, but the air had turned electric, heavy with the scent of rain. The doorbell shattered the silence. Elizabeth rose smoothly and opened the door to Linda holding a small gift bag.
Mom, you look tired. Let's get you settled in.
They crossed to the coffee table, where the 2 cups still steamed. Linda's eyes brushed the envelope without recognition.
I packed a few essentials for you at our place. Tomorrow we can move your heavy things.
Before that, Linda, I want to show you something.
She slid the blue Union card across the wooden surface. It stopped inches from Linda's startled fingers.
What is this? Some old Union card.
It's a supplemental health plan from 1998. It activated automatically the moment someone canceled my Medicare.
Linda's smile froze, her eyes fixed on the card, as if it were a live snake. Linda's face drained of color. She had prepared for refusal, not for a plan that had already replaced her trap.
And that's not all, Linda. The FBI has pulled voice prints from those calls. Not just Medicare, the bank, the pension.
Linda's mouth opened, but no words came. The gift bag slipped from her fingers and thumped softly on the floor.
Number, you are confused. That wasn't me. I never called anyone.
I filed the complaint myself, Linda. They have your voice on 3 separate calls. You tried to drain everything before locking me in your basement.
Linda's shoulders sagged as if the air had been punched from her lungs. The color had not returned to her face.
Mom, I only wanted to help. I thought if you had no choice, you'd let me take care of you. The house was supposed to be ours.
You wanted everything, Linda. My home, my savings, my independence. But your father made sure I'd never be trapped.
Linda covered her mouth, a ragged sob escaping. The coffee had stopped steaming. Elizabeth watched her daughter unravel, but the quiet rage that had fueled her for weeks remained steady, not cruel, but absolute. Linda was now the one without options. The basement room would stay empty. Linda drove home in a daze and stumbled through the front door, throwing open kitchen drawers and stuffing documents into a canvas bag.
Linda, what's going on? Why are you packing like this?
It was all for us. The house was supposed to be ours, but Mom found out she has a backup plan.
Found out what? What are you talking about?
I canceled her Medicare. I called the bank, too. She was supposed to depend on us.
You stole from your own mother? You ruined her insurance?
I was protecting us. She didn't need that house, Mark.
Mark said nothing. He turned, walked to the bedroom, and opened the suitcase on the bed. He brushed past Linda at the door, the suitcase thumping down the porch steps behind him. Linda slid to the floor, the canvas bag spilling papers at her knees. The house was silent. The next morning, Linda found the FBI envelope lying on her kitchen table, her name typed starkly across the front. She tore it open with shaking hands. The single sheet required her presence for an interview. Notice of interview. You are hereby directed to appear at the FBI White-Collar Division. The paper slid from her fingers. She grabbed her phone and dialed Elizabeth.
Mom, please. You have to stop this. Tell them it was a misunderstanding.
I can't, Linda. You made those calls. The evidence is solid. Cooperate with them. Maybe they'll be lenient if you are honest.
Linda pressed her hand to her mouth, a ragged sob escaping before she could swallow it.
Mom, I only wanted to take care of you. The house was supposed to be our future.
The line clicked dead. Linda stared at the letter, the case number blurring as tears fell. Elizabeth sat in her armchair, the blue Union card resting on the side table. The house was quiet, exactly the way she had defended it. Her phone rang on the table beside her, the direct line from Agent Chen.
Mrs. Hartwell, the interview went as expected. Your daughter provided a statement. The investigation will proceed.
Thank you for letting me know. I appreciate you calling directly.
You handled this with remarkable clarity, ma'am. Not many people your age could.
Elizabeth set the phone down and looked around the living room she had refused to surrender.
George, I held the line. The house is still ours.
Her fingers found the pearls at her throat, the last anniversary gift he had given her. She did not cry. The grief was there, but so was the steel he had helped her forge. The night settled around the house, and Elizabeth stayed exactly where she had been for 41 years, home. Elizabeth moved to the kitchen, filling the kettle with quiet, unhurried movements. She carried a steaming cup to her armchair, the same chair where she had plotted her defense weeks ago.
I haven't looked at our wedding album in years.
She opened the worn album to a black and white photograph of George on their wedding day, his smile frozen in silver. Her finger traced his face, the wedding band on her hand catching the light.
We did it, George. The house is still ours.
She closed the album, the leather creaking softly, and set it aside. The tea had cooled. She moved through the house, switching off lights one by one, the rooms settling into darkness. Her hand brushed the banister as she climbed the stairs, the pearl necklace still at her throat. Through the bedroom window, the last light of evening touched the wall. She lay down, and for the first time in weeks, her breath came deep and slow. Morning light fell through the window and caught the coffee table, still set with 2 cold cups from the day before, beside the blue union card. Elizabeth had left her pearl necklace coiled like a signature on the polished wood. The 2 objects rested together, his shield from the past, her quiet armor in the fight. Elizabeth had not told anyone. She placed the necklace there. It was her own surrender to a battle that was finally over. The union card was no longer a secret. It was the keystone of a life lived on her own terms. The pearls caught the low sun, each bead a memory of the husband who had guarded her future, even in death. Some plans are made to last a lifetime. The house was quiet. It would remain quiet, holding the echoes of a woman who refused to be moved. The sunlight crept higher, touching the pearls first, then the union card, as if an old debt had been acknowledged. And somewhere, in the hollow of the morning, Elizabeth's breath moved slow and deep, finally at rest.